Hey, it's Bill Russell. I'm here in my yellow hat. I wore it at Vive and Hims to signify our partnership with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation and the search for cures and to combat childhood cancer. I'm just blown away by the generosity of our community. With the help of our partners, SureTest, Rackspace, CTG, and some of you giving individually, we were able to raise close to $40,000 at those two events. It is just exceptional. And I would like to thank all of you who have joined us in this cause. If you would like to be a part of it as well, go ahead and hit our page, thisweekhealth.com. You can go to the top blue banner that is on our homepage and click on that to give today. Thank you again for being a part of this effort and this cause. Today in Health IT, let's start the year with a little dialogue. My name is Bill Russell. I'm a former CIO for a 16 hospital system and creator of This Week Health, a set of channels and events dedicated to transform healthcare one connection at a time. We want to thank our show sponsors who are investing in developing the next generation of health leaders: SureTest, Artisight, Parlance, Certify Health, Notable, and ServiceNow. Check them out at thisweekhealth.com/today. If my voice sounds a little sultry, it's because I am fighting a cold, and it just is the way it is. When you take a break, I think your body knows you take a break, and it says, oh, this is a good time to be sick. So I've been sick for the last couple of days. And I hope to be through this soon so that you don't have to put up with this nasally sound on the other side. But we're gonna continue anyway. Hey, let me give you a couple other things that's going on over here. We put out a new service on the website, thisweekhealth.com/news. Check it out. We're adding curators. If you work for a health system and you read the Health IT news and want to highlight some stories, go ahead and sign up for that. You can go to thisweekhealth.com/news, become a curator, and we will get you set up to do that. It's real simple. You see a story, you text it to us, and we will review it and put it up on the site. So it's that simple. Love to have your help in doing that this year. And then one last thing, as we supported Alex's Lemonade Stand all last year, and we exceeded our goal, we're going to continue to do that in 2024 with a goal of raising $75,000 from our community. We ask you to join us. Hit our website, top right-hand column. You're going to see the logo for the Lemonade Stand. Click on that to give today. We're excited about what we were able to do last year with this community, and we are excited about what we are going to be able to do together again this year. And if you want to help us out one more way, share this podcast with a friend or colleague. Use it as a foundation for daily or weekly discussions on topics that are relevant to you in the industry. They can subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. All right. As I said, fighting a cold. Hopefully I will get through it, but because of that, this is going to be a much shorter episode than usual. And what I'm going to do, it is going to be a brief but important opener for the Today Show. I'm going to start with a thank you, because I've been doing this show now for 3 years, some 700 plus episodes, which is crazy. It's amazing. 10 minutes a pop, that's 7,000 minutes. And as I rarely go 10 minutes. Anyway, regardless, when I started it, I was told by some that this was too ambitious. And I can now honestly say that they were absolutely right. But I believe it is one of the most valuable things that I get to do every day. And at the end of each year, we evaluate what is working and what isn't working at This Week Health. And we try to jettison those things that aren't working, or at least adjust them to get them to be more in tune. If something's not working, we assume that the industry doesn't value it in some way, and that we need to do more, something a little different. And this process has served me well over the years, and it's gotten me to get rid of that baggage that's hanging out there. And you don't want to keep doing things that don't add value. And no, I'm not breaking up with you, and we are not stopping this show, but I do need your help. See, I get feedback over the years from a lot of different sources, and a couple of them have told me that they make our shows at This Week Health required listening for new hires or salespeople. The anecdotal feedback is that those that listen to the show come up to speed much quicker than those who choose not to. That's why we started the show. The premise was that an informed staff makes better decisions, and a staff that only has an internal lens will start to come back with stale solutions. I still believe this, but wonder if there might be a better way to serve the community, and that is where you come in. There's a form on our website, thisweekhealth.com/today. It's hard to miss because I didn't do the CSS so well and it's the wrong color. If you wouldn't tell our marketing person, that would be great. I'll get to that when I feel a little bit better. Regardless, the form works great. It's a pretty open-ended form. It's just email address, a subject line, and in a content box for you to put in feedback. If you've listened to the show for any length of time, you know what our format is, what kind of dialogue we have, what kind of stories we look at, and what the Friday ramblings and that kind of stuff that we do. What I'd like for you to do is go out there sometime today and send me one of three things, or even multiple of these three things if you could. The first one is one thing you would change to make the show more valuable to you, yourself. So what's one thing we could do to make it more valuable to yourself? The second thing is one thing that you would change about the show as it currently exists to make it better for the industry. Something that you look at and you say, hey, this would be better for the industry if you did this. And then the final thing, if you think, hey, this is great, I listen to this all the time, and we do have a pretty steady following on the show. If you like the show and you gain value from it, the last thing that you can do for us is provide a testimonial that we might use on our website. And if you could just put in the testimonial, put your name in there, and we'll contact you before we use it. But just would love to have some feedback, some testimonials that we could promote the show and say, hey, other people are from the industry are getting value out of this show, and we would recommend this show to you, or they would recommend this show to you. You get the idea. The medicine's kicking in here. I'm a little foggy. But if you could do that today, some of it's budget related, some of it's focus related, some of it's geography related and whatnot. And it's not going to be perfect because some geographies have different priorities and that kind of stuff. But I'm going to break it down. I think 4 areas: IDNs, large IDNs, academic medical centers, regional systems, and small budget constrained health systems. And that there's a whole bunch that fall into that category. But it's going to be those that are smaller budgets, smaller teams, and what I would prioritize and how I'd be looking at. So I'm probably going to look at those 4 different areas over the next couple of weeks. We're going to get to the news. In fact, I might do this over the next 2 weeks and sprinkle some news stories in there as well, so we don't get too far behind. Either way, I'd like to see if my priorities match what I'm going to hear in the interviews I'm going to be doing over on the conference channel. We'll have to see. So if you get a chance, thisweekhealth.com/today, hit that page, give us some feedback. One thing you would change to make the show more valuable to you, one thing you would change on the show as it currently exists to make it better for the industry. And if you are so inclined, if you could provide us a testimonial of why you listen to the show and with your name, we'll contact you if we can use that on the webpage or in other ways. So again, appreciate you guys being a part of this journey. I don't even know what episode this is. I'd love to say, hey, this is episode 785. I don't keep track of such things. They say in the podcast industry, you should celebrate every major milestone. But if we did that, we'd be celebrating every other week. Maybe that's not a bad thing, but we'll see. Finally, we have some really big news coming in February at This Week Health, but that's just a teaser. You'll have to stay posted to find out more about that. All right, that's all for today. Don't forget, share this podcast with a friend or colleague. We want to thank our channel sponsors who are investing in our mission to develop the next generation of health leaders: SureTest, Artisight, Parlance, Certify Health, Notable, and ServiceNow. Check them out at thisweekhealth.com/today. Thanks for listening. That's all for now.